Hi there, this is Angela Rary, science teacher, and I made this video because I'm hearing from some students and parents that they're having trouble completing assignments, or maybe they're completing assignments, but it's not showing up on my end. So since I can't be there with you and actually see what you're seeing, I thought this might be the easiest way to explain, and then once you've watched this video, if you could just get back to me by email, letting me know what you figured out. Maybe you'll see something in the video and say, oh, okay, that's where we're going wrong. Or maybe you'll say, hey, I did all the things that were in the video. I did everything correct. It must be some sort of technical glitch on the website. So if you can let me know what's going on, that will help me to try to figure this out. It's really hard to do since I can't actually be there in person to help. So anyway, here's my Aspen webpage, and this is where you find the assignments. So you would click on fourth quarter learning modules. There we go. So I'm going to show you as an example, I'm going to go to this one, module 1.2. Notice how there's 3 per week. So there's 3 in the first week, there's 3 in the second week. Anything optional is totally optional. You do not have to do it. So these are the 3. And then here's week 3. So week 3 is the week that actually ends today. Plus I did put something here to report any technical problems, although nobody has used that yet. It just takes you to a form to fill out and send to me. But anyway, if we look back at week 1, I had 3 different websites. So this one takes you to a website called Sway. This one takes you to Nearpod, and this one is instructions for IXL. So I was kind of trying things out. But based on student feedback, people seem to like Nearpod a lot. So I'm going to show you this one. This is Nearpod, and after week 1, everything else has been on Nearpod. So you don't need to go anywhere else. But these are all clickable links. So that one I already started. Let's go ahead and start a new one. So when you first click on it, it's going to come up like this. There will probably be nothing there. So it's asking for the name. So if you try to just go ahead, notice how it won't let you. It came up with a red X. So students do have to enter their name. One thing that could be going wrong, I did have one person enter 3 dots and then join the session, which is not a great idea. Someone else decided they were going to make their name ABC123. So whoever that student is, they did a bunch of work, but they did not get credit for it. So if that was maybe your child, that's why I'm saying they didn't do their work when they're saying they did. But that's only happened a couple times. I think I've only seen the ABC 1, 2, 3 once and the dots maybe a couple times. But anyway, once they join the session, so there's the title slide, Motion and Energy Skate Park, and I would expect each of these modules to take about 30 minutes. So if they're blowing through it in 10 or 15 minutes, that's probably why they're not getting credit, because they're just clicking next, 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 and not actually doing the activities. So the first slide had some great tips. Notice this is something you can click on and it'll start reading aloud to you. Tips for complete. I'm going to turn that off because it makes a weird echo when I'm recording it, but anybody who wants to read aloud can definitely use that. So take the time to read each slide. Here's an important one. If you see a submit button looks like that, you have to click it to get credit for your work. If you don't hit submit, then I don't know that you've done it. Any small pictures like this, click them and they will get bigger so you can see them. And any draw it activity, you're going to use your mouse to draw. So you're going to see this at the bottom. It'll be on the bottom left-hand corner actually. Usually I use the pencil to draw, but there's also a highlighter you can draw with, and this eraser here is handy in case you make a mistake. So notice I can go to the next slide. You can also go back if you forgot to read something. So just more tips. So see how on this slide the instructions right here are kind of blocking the picture so you can't read the text in the top of the picture. If you click on that arrow, it will hide the instructions so that you can see whatever's at the top. So that's just another little tip. And then this is also a read aloud button, this little speaker. So sometimes you're going to see the one at the bottom and sometimes you're going to see this. Both of those will read aloud to you. So the essential questions that you should be able to answer after doing this lesson. So again, this is something you would read or click at the bottom to have it read aloud to you. Here we see a video. It would be easy to just think that's a picture and go right on past it. But make sure you go back to that video. That is actually a video that I made, and that is me recording myself teaching the lesson. So really important that you click on play and you watch that video. So I'm going to pause that and go on. Now notice quiz questions. So let's say your student reads it and thinks, oh, I bet that's A. Oh, I think that one might be B. Oh, that's probably A. And then they go on. See how it gives them a little reminder, wait, some questions are unanswered? The only way they're going to get a 0 participation score is if they go ahead and submit anyway. So it's actually letting them know, hey, you kind of forgot to do something. So let's go back and review answers and actually answer them. So let's say I'm just going to choose A for everything, just for the purposes of this video. So notice how I submit. And it tells me, oh, out of 3, I only got 1 right. And I can go down here and see what my answers were so that you can learn from your correct and your wrong answers. So here we're introducing the next activity. So it's a virtual skate park. Notice how this is like a 360-degree view. My internet's slow, so it's going to move really slowly. But you should be able to pan around the screen and it's like you're actually there at the skate park. And there are questions to answer. So when you go to the question, it's an open-ended question about that skate park. So while you were at the skate park, what did you notice about potential and kinetic energy? So I typed in just a random answer there. This is where they would type in their answer. It doesn't have to be complete sentences or anything. But notice if I were to just go on past it, I'm not really getting credit for that. So the only way to get credit for that answer, for having done it, is to hit the submit button. So that could be where some of your kids have gone wrong. Maybe they're just clicking next, 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 and not actually taking the time to do the activities. Or possibly they're doing the activities, typing in answers, but just not hitting the submit button. So here we go. We're going to do a virtual lab. Here are some things to think about during the first trial on that lab. Ask yourself the following questions. And again, if they don't want to read, they can click here and it will be read aloud to them. So more instructions for the virtual lab, reminding them to click bar graph. So you get a bar graph right here. For the first trial, drop the skater at any point on the ramp and observe. They can experiment after that. So here is the actual virtual lab. Remember how the instructions said to turn on the bar graph. Now you can drop the skater anywhere. Look what happens. So you can see on the bar graph right now, and I'm holding down my mouse. I haven't let it go yet. You can see how they have lots of potential energy but no kinetic energy. And you can watch how that changes on the bar graph as the skater moves back and forth. You can put it in slow motion so that you can see it a little bit easier. And then there are other things they can play with, like they can make a pie chart instead of a bar graph. There are other things they can do. They can change the shape of the skate park, lots of stuff. So anyway, then we have an open-ended question about what they learned. So I already entered a random, totally made up answer there, but this is where they would enter their answer. I'm just trying not to give away the answers to anybody who hasn't done it yet. And again, make sure you hit the submit button. Without the submit button, it's going to look like they skipped that and didn't do anything. So that could definitely be the problem for some people. Some vocabulary review. Here's an activity, fill in the blanks. So let's see. I think that one goes there. Let's say I think that one goes there. Well, let's pretend I think it goes here. And I put that one there. If they just go to the next one, again, it's going to show up on my end as 0. They didn't do the activity. They have no idea that they did that wrong. So what they need to do, drag those into the boxes where they think they go and hit done. And that's where they get feedback. Oh, whoops, that is completely wrong. Look what happens. It's going to give them a chance to try again. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe I have to go back. There we go. So now it's reset so I can try again. So now I get another chance. Maybe I think that one goes there, and this one goes there, and this one goes there. Now let's hit done. There we go. So now it's telling me now I've got it. I got all 3 correct answers. So again, if they didn't hit that done button down here, that's where it's showing that they just skipped over, and I am seeing on their participation score 0% participation for that activity. So for students who just like to go next, 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 Okay, I did all the activities. I'm done. I don't know why Miss Rary says I didn't do that. This could definitely be where some people are going wrong. Look, no answer 100% because they just keep hitting next. So what I would see there is participation score 0. So I'm going to see that they logged in but didn't actually do anything. So it's really important that they actually answer the quiz questions, and it's really important for something like this draw it that they actually take the mouse and draw it. So we're filling in the blanks. So if I'm looking at that, all right, if that was potential energy and that's kinetic energy, I'm going to estimate this one. Let's say I want to draw in red. So there we go. I've chosen a red pencil. So maybe I'm going to say I think this one's 10 and I think that one is 10. So that's my guess. And then what do I click? Right there, submit. That way I get credit. All right, and now I can see, oh, here's the correct answers. Did you get it correct? Well, I put 10 and 10 because I knew it needed to add up to 20. So yes, I got that correct. But again, if they didn't hit submit or they just didn't draw anything, what I'm seeing is 0% for that. So it looks like they didn't do it at all, even though they may have looked at it. So hopefully that helps. The last thing I wanted to show you, well, while I'm here on Aspen, you can see there's week 2, 3 different modules again. The optional ones are totally optional, only if they want to. We're on week 3, that's what we finished up today. So again, 3 different modules, and they're all on that Nearpod site. But I wanted to show you what the reports look like for me. I did remove some student names just for privacy reasons, but like here's a report for that particular activity, Energy Skate Park. So earlier I went through and I was showing this to another parent and I just clicked next, 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 didn't take the time to actually hit submit on any of the activities, didn't answer any quiz questions, just kept going to the next, but I did actually look at every slide. I just didn't do any activities. So look, my participation score is 0. I didn't answer any open-ended quiz questions, or if I did, I never hit submit on any of them. I didn't answer any quiz questions at all. I just skipped them. And on the draw it activities, I just skipped those too. I either didn't write anything or I wrote something but never hit submit. So if what I told you was that your student started or logged into an activity but didn't actually complete it, that's probably what's going on. Now, if they didn't enter their name at all, or they just never even started it, that's where I'm saying they didn't do it at all. So as long as they entered their name on that first slide, I would at least see this. So I entered my name and I did nothing else. But if I don't see my name up there at all, if I look and there's no Angela Rary, well, that tells me that I never even started that activity. The other option is maybe they entered a random name like ABC123. Again, that's not common, so that certainly doesn't explain most of it, but it did happen one time for one module. So if you can figure out maybe where your student is going wrong, definitely let me know. That gives me some ideas, maybe how to improve the instructions I give for doing this work, or change things to make it a little more user-friendly. Or if you're thinking, no, my student did go through, I watched him or her click submit, I watched them draw things, I watched them answer quiz questions, and you're telling me they still didn't do anything, definitely let me know that too, so that I can try to track down where the problem is. The good thing about this online learning is that there are no grades. It's all just so that students learn so that they're prepared for high school next year. They'll be taking science classes in high school, and so this is stuff they will be expected to know. But if for whatever reason you're telling me that they totally did all this work and there's some kind of weird technical thing where everyone else's scores show up, but for whatever reason theirs don't, as long as they're learning, that's really the important thing. But just for like record keeping purposes, and I do have to report this to the school, I really want it to be as accurate as possible. So again, please let me know if you figured something out after watching this. Let me know what's going on so that I have a better idea how to help others in the future. And if you still have questions, please email me. You could even maybe make a screen recording like I did and show me what's going on. That may better enable me to help you. All right, thanks for taking the time to watch this. Hope everybody is staying safe and well, and I will talk to you later. Bye.